Hey guys, today I'm going to show you a one-to-one Note 5 clone in white. If you're interested in this phone, remember to check out the details in the video description. This model is really cheap, so you should not expect it to be anything near the original in performance, but for normal telephone calls, SMS, email, YouTube, Facebook and the web, it works just fine, and it can be used as a decent smartphone. Normally I don't recommend anyone to get a clone, but there are also people out there who can't afford the real thing, people who just don't want to spend the amount of money the original costs, or people who just want to try it out for fun or curiosity. And the last thing actually applies to me. Also, I'm doing this video to show people the difference between the original and a fake model, so you know how you can spot a fake Note 5 clone if you should have any doubt. Okay, so here we have the phone, and I got the phone delivered in an anonymous white box. You see the box here, and why I did that was because here in Europe where I live, it's really hard to get clones imported from China because of the customs. They are going to check most packages, but I got lucky with this model here and it passed the customs without any problems. Also the logos and so on was actually hidden on this model. But if you want the package with the original logos, it's also possible from the seller. He can provide a full box with Samsung logos on the side and top and so on, so it will look exactly like the original. But for me that is just the package and box, and actually not so important. For me it was important that it would pass the customs, so that's why I just got it in a white box. So the accessories included was first of all a small pin to open up the SIM tray in the top of the phone, a standard quick start guide, and this one here is actually for the Note 5, as I can see. A very cheap headset, made in Vietnam. And here the micro USB cable. This one here is made in China. And last, the wall charger branded with the Samsung logo. And on the back side we also see the informations: 5 volt 1 amp, so a standard travel adapter. But usually these chargers from China are not in a good quality, and I would recommend not to use the included wall charger, but buy a quality wall charger instead and use with the phone. It's much more secure and also faster, so I think I will just keep this as a spare. And now to the phone. So the phone here is actually one-to-one in size and shape, but with the thicker bezels. You also notice that the bezels here are much thicker than on the original. We also see the Samsung logo here in the top. We have the light and proximity sensor, the ear speaker and a front-facing camera on 2 megapixel. So the glass here is not Gorilla Glass, this will just be normal glass, so you have to be careful if you drop the phone or something like that. But the good thing is that covers and also screen protectors and so on will actually fit this model because it's one-to-one, so that's a cool thing. We also see here the home button. We will find menu and back, and these have backlight. We have a notification LED in the top. And before I show you the rear side, actually the phone here came with the back cover detached. Let me just show you. I can remove this really easy, like this. And I will do a separate video and show you the internals and how to insert a SD card in this phone, so just check my channel. There will be a second video about this phone, but for now I will just attach the back cover again. And because normally you have to use the double-sided tape here, I will not use this right now because I still want to be able to remove the back cover. I will just put it on like this, and that's why you maybe see some gaps here on the back side. So it's not because the quality is bad actually, and the back cover here is also just made of plastic. This is not glass or something like that. So on the back side we find the 8 megapixel rear camera, we find a fingerprint reader and a single LED flash. The LED flash is actually kind of strong. The fingerprint reader I believe is just fake. We have the Samsung logo. As told, the rear side here is just made of plastic. We have a CE logo, and we also see a number N9200 Samsung, made in Korea by Samsung. We know this is fake because this phone here is not made in Korea but in China. And on this side you see the volume rockers as 2 buttons. The frame here is made of real metal, so it's really hard and solid. In the top we find a SIM tray for nano SIM cards and a fake noise cancelling microphone. On this side we just find the power button. In the bottom of the phone we see the S Pen. So this one here is a little bit different than the original. You have to pull it out yourself. We have here the microphone, also the speaker. We have a micro USB port together with the 3.5mm headphone jack. So the sound will come out of the speaker here, but the real speaker will actually be located inside the back. And it actually supports double tap to wake. Let me demonstrate it here. And we have some shortcuts for the dialer and the camera. So right now the brightness is really high. You can see on high, I can go to the lowest. Let's try to set this in the middle. And the display quality I would say is about average, because it still have some pretty good colors, but it's only in HD. Still, I can try to go a little bit closer to the icon so you can see that the sharpness I would say is acceptable. It's not super, but still okay. But as you can notice here, the viewing angles are not so good. And I'm not sure if this is a one glass solution. This could be a normal display just. And let's check out the buttons. You see the light in menu and back. And let's try here the UI, the speed. Actually it's pretty snappy, as you notice, no really lag. Fast and nice. And let's try to have a look inside the app drawer. Also okay. You can also, I believe, scroll here fast. Let's try to pull out the S Pen, if I can get it out. See what happens. Okay, and the S Pen here seems to be made of metal. There's no kind of button really on the side, so it's just a pen. And there's also no kind of logo, but it still looks nice. And here we have some different options and shortcuts. Action memo, let's try this. Okay, so you can see it works, but the speed is not the best. It's very typical for these clones. Then we have here also screen bright, and I believe this is just a screenshot. Smart select. Let's try this, okay. Add shortcut. So here you can choose the apps you want to add. That's nice. Let me just check out here if we have air gestures. Yeah, this works both directions. Let's try from the top. Also working. Let's try out the browser. So the browser here is also supporting smart scroll. You see the eye, and when you tilt the phone it will just scroll up and down. Let's have a look inside the quick toggles. So we see these here. Smart pause, smart scroll, smart stay, air gestures, multi-window. So I'm not sure about the multi-window, if this is just fake or not. Let's go inside the settings. Let me just scroll through these. Motion and gestures, smart screen. Language and input. This one here is multi-language. Find developer options and about. So here you see the custom build number. We also see the Android version claiming it to be 5.1.1, but this is in fact fake. It will only be KitKat 4.4.2. Let's try to check it out and see the fake Easter egg here from Google. Okay. And actually it seems to support some kind of air touch, air view, because as you notice, my finger here right now is not touching the display. Actually, I'm just in the air. So right now I'm not touching the display. It's a bit hard to show you, but actually my finger is just like this and it still activates. You saw it here. And here I'm going to show you Geekbench 3. So some of the specs apps are showing are fake. The model is of course not a real Samsung, and the OS is also not really Android 5.1.1. The CPU is also fake, the CPU speed and so on. But the memory is true. It has 1 GB of RAM. It should have 8 GB of RAM. But it is possible to extend the storage with a microSD card on the backside. So the real specs are that this is a clone. We have a KitKat 4.4.2. The CPU is the MTK 6582 Quadcore, clocked at 1.3 GHz, and it is using the Mali 400 MP. And if you want to find out some of the secret codes, I recommend to install the app called Secret Codes. And if you're using this code here with zeros, it will use the stock boot logo and Shutdown logo. It will just show Android, no kind of Samsung logo. But if you use this, the second one here for testing, you will activate all the Samsung logos for the boot animation and so on. Let's just try this out. You see the Shutdown animation with Samsung. And when I got the phone, this was not activated, it was disabled, I think because of security reasons. So if the customs would check the phone, they would not see any Samsung logo. So here we see the Samsung Galaxy Note 5 and the Samsung animation. Okay.
2. You have no messages in your voicemail box. To listen to your messages, press 1. To change your personal options, press 2.
So before I end this video, I will just show you here an old friend. So this is another clone. Actually, this was my first clone, the Samsung Galaxy Note 3 clone. And as you can see, my clone here is still in mint condition. It still looks as new. And I just chose to keep this because this clone here was actually the reason why I started a YouTube channel. All my tests started from the day when I got the Note 3 clone, and actually in the beginning I didn't have any phones at all. I just made like I think 20 videos about the Note 3 clone here, and that made it all start up for me, and I was contacted by companies and shops and so on. And a lot of people had questions about the device, and I tried to support them. So the Note 3 clone here is actually one of my favorites still. And as you can see, maybe the display here on the Note 3 clone is actually much bigger than on the Note 5 clone. So that's it. I will bring more about this phone later, so just stay tuned on my channel. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in my next one.